So guys, today we got a question from Aaron, who's getting a little bit older, around 49 years old, so almost to the big 50. And he's had a hell of a string of just bad luck in some cases. He had an ACL tear, he had cancer, got over that, had COVID, had a bad case of COVID back when it was going, right? And then he had a labral tear, in his shoulder, and so now he has that. And then he's having all these things combined. And he says that he's a 4-stripe brown belt, but he feels like an absolute shell of himself in comparison to what he used to be, because he says that the purple belt version of himself, when he was a little bit younger and was training a lot more and hadn't had the string of injuries and illnesses, he says that purple belt version would just decimate me as a 4-stripe brown. And he says that he knows that as a 4-stripe brown, like he's going to be on the chopping block for black belt, and he doesn't feel so comfortable with that. And so he asks me, he's basically dealing with a little bit of imposter syndrome, or he doesn't want to feel like his promotion is a sham. And he's wondering, should I tell my coach not to promote me, not to do this? Or, should I just take it and be happy with it? So Aaron, thanks for the question, bro. So many things going on there, and obviously I sent you a message directly. So check this out, man. We talk a lot about when people come into the gym, we say leave your ego at the door, right? It's a bad way of saying it, because we all have an ego, and no matter what, your ego is going to be right there with you. Your ego is who you think you are, right? It's your self-construction. That's yourself. And again, that's really what it is, right? It's not that we leave it at the door, but we have to have like a healthy ego if you're going to do this stuff, right? A healthy ego can change, right? That's the big issue, because you think about what creates the problem for people. It's not the ego, it's that their ego is so rigid and fragile that it can't take on new information. So if you come into the gym, let's say that you were like a star quarterback, right? And then you come into the gym and you're getting beat by some 15-year-old kid, and you're like, I can't take this, because I used to be super cool and I used to be this great athlete, and now I'm getting beat by this kid, right? Or you're some big shot, corporate, this, that, whatever, and you make a ton of money, you're driving a Corvette, and now the kid that's got like acne and who's flipping burgers, it's just busting your ass all over the mat, right? Again, it's a hard thing to do, to be like, okay, I'm not that cool here. So maybe not leave your ego at the door, but leave your old one at the door and get ready to take on a new one. And one of the things that jiu-jitsu does is it keeps you in tune with your body constantly, because as you are changing, which we are changing every single day, right? Every day, every moment, you're changing into someone different, right? We're never the same person. I'm different now, just that quick, right? We're constantly changing. And so, you as a person, you went through a hell of a lot of changes in a relatively small amount of time, right? You had surgery on your labral tear and surgery. You had ACL and a surgery, right? It's a lot of recovery, a lot of stuff to go with. You had cancer. I mean, just that alone can just wreck someone for a number of different reasons, as you obviously know. And then you had COVID. And again, depending on how your body responded to it, especially if you were compromised with an immune system, it could be pretty rough. So you had all this sandwiched in. And again, before this, you were doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden you have this string of stuff. Of course you're not going to feel like you used to, bro. And again, just like we have to sometimes accept that the guy that we used to beat is beating us, or that maybe when we walked into the gym, we thought we were really cool, and then we came into the gym, we got beat by the freaking kid that works at Burger King, and we just have to sort of lay things down. As we get older, as things happen to us, as our bodies change, we have to basically accept that part. This is really hard for like a lot of us who started when we were young, right? You started a little bit older, you were 30 and 33, but I started when I was in my teenage years. And that's something, I grappled with a little bit, pun intended, when I started getting a little bit older, where all of a sudden I can feel my body slowing down. I can feel my recovery slowing down. The old pace where I'm moving and I'm going fast and I feel good. Now all of a sudden I have to slow my pace down, because when I try to go at my young man pace, like my heart rate just I can't maintain that speed anymore. And it's like, what the hell's wrong with me, right? I literally thought something was wrong. I went and had all these tests done, scans on my heart and everything else. Everything was fine. And they're like, you're in amazing shape. And I'm like, I don't feel like I did when I was 32. And they're like, well, no shit, you're not 32 anymore. So again, this is something we all grapple with. And it's something that, again, I think it's a beautiful part about jiu-jitsu, but it's something it's tough, because every day you come into jiu-jitsu, you are faced with who you are right now in this moment. And that person may be different than what it was yesterday, may be different than what it was 2 years ago, and so forth. And again, with our physicality, with our physical abilities, it comes up, We get to our physical prime, which is relative to all of us, and then what comes afterwards? It starts the decline. And you, as you get older, right, you do your best to slow that decline down, but it's still a decline, right? And so with you, kind of coming back around, you're in the situation now where, again, you've had a lot of declining because of all these different things. Now, you can get back up a little bit, you can improve, but you're probably never going to be the person that you were when you were a purple belt. That person is gone. They do not exist anymore. You still feel mentally like the same person, but they're not there anymore, right? So understand that thing. There's that side of it, right? You just got to give yourself a little bit of grace, man, and just be like, look, I was dealing with a lot of crap. I went through a lot of things that would in some cases kill people, and I made it through, and here I'm on the other side. Be grateful for that, but also give yourself some grace. Like, okay, of course I'm not going to be who I was before. The person that I was before never went through all this stuff. The other side to it is if you're feeling healthy, you're feeling good, right? You're bouncing back out of it, right? You can use that anxiety and you can channel it to make you better. Because yeah, okay, you got this big deal, this black belt, which means something to you. You can use that as a chance to do whatever it is that you can do, right? Maybe you can't roll quite as hard as you could when you were younger, but maybe you can do, a little bit more cardio to get your cardio in shape because you said your cardio wasn't as good. Or you could drill a little bit more, or you could do more studying, or you could do whatever it is in the realm of possibility for you to improve your jiu-jitsu. And you could use that sort of looming belt promotion, that anxiety associated with it, to give you a little kick in the butt. But again, that's just the ideas of chewing, because again, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but hopefully it helps you, Aaron. And good luck to you, bro. Good luck with your training. Guys, I'll talk to you next time.